Good morning, gentlemen. We are here in our shop. My name is Benjamin. I'm the owner of GSW, and I'm very happy to introduce our new slitting line to you today. We'll start right here with the test material that is waiting to be run on the line. This line is for 15 tons, 200 meters per minute fast, and 1600 millimeter wide. The maximum thickness we run here is about 2 millimeters, and we start at 0.3. Currently we're in the internal runoff. It's about the final strokes now to get all the drives set and make sure that all the wiring was done correctly. And the line is going from left to right. It's a highly productive line, so the customer's interest was mainly in fast exchanges and high automation. We start over here with our 20-ton coil reel design. It's a reinforced steel base. Here we have about 11 kW drive force. We have automated the coil setup here, and we did this by positioning the necessary hold down arm on the floor and adding a special drive to the uncoiler that functions with an encoder. And by this, the customers can always put the new coil to the end of the uncoiler, and then the uncoiler automatically moves into a central position. We always move the uncoiler electrically, and we have a stationary loading chair. I will show you the drive. This is to be seen over here. This is the actual drive that moves the coil reel back and forth. We have sensors that check the position, and in this motor, you can see this over here, encoder is built in. This is the main drive to power the machine. We always have valve blocks decentralized at the very machine. It's easy to get to them. This we do so maintenance is very clear and fast. While we're here, you see the main hydraulic system. This is a relatively large unit with an external cooling function and a high performance pump. The controls, we can take a quick peek into them. They're all mounted into cabinets. This is of course a little more than usual. Here you can see one of the main drives. This one is the large one for the recoiler. You can see the air conditioning unit over here. And all the other drives that are necessary for the system. We stay in the back of the line and walk over here. It's nice to see from here. We have the strip preparation unit over here, which is designed with a servo feed. The shear. The shear is there for cropping of the cutting edge. This unit is very important. It's a central edge guide with hardened guide bars, and with this guide we make sure that the strip runs centered when it comes into the slitter. So already the beginning of the strip is in the very center for production. The gap you see between uncoiler and strip preparation unit is actually with a coil loop, and by this we can take the uncoiler out of the controls, if you will. It's its own separate unit. This customer has a very special little unit that we built for him. There's a very small slitting tool and a traversing recoiler. And with this platform, we help the customer to actually slit individual little portions out of the PVC film that is on the coil. And by this, for later processing, we can have the coil already with some sections with no foil, which is much easier for his later on automatic bending and punching and so on. This here is the main drive of the slitter. It is functioning as a stationary unit with a clutch system, and the actual slitting machine is moving on a linear rail with a toothed rack. And we call it basically a station, slitting station, like a train station, because we have two complete slitting machines that will run in and out. We will later on see this from the other side of the line. This equipment here we built to bridge the looping pit. You can take a peek down there into the pit. This is where the different strands will run into and able to balance themselves. The customer's pit has a depth of about 8 meters, I believe. So this is a pneumatic function going in and out. We have a small strip brake over there, which is only there to hold the end so it does not fall into the pit. The next portion of the line is basically some loop equipment for calming the dance of the different strands. There is separating technology, there is a strip brake. Then we have the threading system with a top a separator and a bottom table for automatically feeding the strands into the recoiling arbor. This is the main reason we stay at the back of the line. Here you see this giant motor that runs the recoiler. We have 130 kW here because we need a high force to produce coils that are very tightly wound and have high quality, so they can be automatically processed later on in the company's different units. Is a special recoiling arbor with 4 segments. 3 of them are moving and 1 is fixed, against which the strands are clamped. And so when the machine is expanded for the diameter that we rewind, it is perfectly round. Discharging of the finished materials is done with this unit. This unit has its own hold-down arm. It has its own keepers, so the small coils cannot tilt, cannot fall over. It will be driven under the arbor, and then with the hold-on arm active, remove the complete production of the recoiling arbor. Here again you can see how we understand total productive maintenance. Everything is easily accessible. Everything is tagged clearly so the operators can immediately see what valve is for which function and so on. With this discharging coil car, individual rings are transferred over to this large turnstile unit. The turnstile is also an automatic system which can rotate. It has its own unit on top, you can see that we have cut out several basically recesses, and that allows the operator to use the strapping and push the strapping underneath so that he can secure the individual coils. The customer needed this equipment because his process does not allow him to immediately process the finished coils and move them somewhere else. He already has to restart production again with the new coil while the finished coils are waiting on this machine. We can now turn back to the front of the line. We see our programming guys working. They are standing in front of the main display, which is a large Siemens touch unit. We have a secondary display controlling the recoiling end. This over here is once again the slitting station. You can now see how these things work. This is now the offline unit. There will be safety in between the two units so that the operator cannot go into the active production. And this machine can be set to different slitting patterns while the line is still producing. And when there is the exchange, the active machine will be driven out and the complete system moves over. This frame is basically built out of two sections. It is interrupted over here, and the base frame of this unit is basically 3 units long, so the complete system can shift left, right, and allow the machine to run out and exchange. Here once again we see automation that was necessary for this customer. This is a servo-driven setting aid, basically, that allows the operator to automatically find the patterns and move every slitting tool against the limit stop, which this is actually functioning as. This unit has its own control. Over here, it has also an own operator interface where we will use customer designed Excel sheets basically, and in the form of a table we'll feed them into this display, so the operator basically just pulls up recipes, and by this everything is set automatically. Also, this machine is having additional safety for the operator here, and a large axis to move the upper section up and down for the different slitting depths. Yes. Then over here we have a panel that controls the uncoiling end. This panel will actually be mounted in this angle because of the premises at customer side. This also has a touch panel, and maybe we can take a quick peek into this. What we like doing is we actually use the 3D drawing information that we have and copy it into the panel, making it very easy for the customer to understand which function is working where, and we show if sensors are active or have a fault or anything like that. Yeah, so this is our big line. It's one of the biggest projects we have done so far, and it's looking good. We will have the runoff yet this month, and we hope to show you some additional video information with coil, so you can see how it actually produces. At the customer side, there is a large existing trim winding machine. We have built some mechanical amendments, so the trim cuts are guided into the pit and from out of there into the existing trim winding machine. For this machine, we have done new controls. So, thanks for watching. Look forward for your feedback. Bye-bye.